Now, as God saw what man was doing, he knew that the vehicle could not take this fuel station out into outer space, and he could not return it back because of it was a liquid fuel. Because the external fuel tank will explode as it re-entered into Earth as he came back, and it would explode and destroy the space shell. So what he knew that man had to do, he couldn't even use the solid fuel booster rockets out of space. God knew that. Because if it's any residue of the solid fuel left in these things, when they come in, there is chances on blowing up the space shuttle. So what God did, he looked in time and he saw that man creating these things, this vehicle, and he knew that he was going to want to get out of space, So he had known that zero gravity on the outside of the Earth, for everything made at a standstill. So what happened was, as this vehicle blast off the launching pad out of all this firepower coming from this fuel tank solid, these solid fuel booster rockets was to carry the fueling station for this. So it had to have four wings. The left fuel tank, left solid booster rocket is a positive wing. Everything becomes all the four functions that cause this vehicle to take flight and defy gravitation is positive wings. But I have negative wings over here. That means these doesn't have to have the force of an ox power, just like horsepower is in a car. Ox power is the same, but it's more strong than horsepower. That's where it's used. Where ox power comes from the giant rockets here. These giant rockets on the back of this space shuttle is four. This here is one wing. This is two wing. This is the third wing. And the engine here on the space shuttle set is the four wing. These are the wings that takes it out in space. Once it gets out in space, this here drops off just before it goes out of space and falls in the ocean. These rockets come down, but it will have enough fuel left in it to thrust it completely out into space after these would have dismantled. So once they go out into space and burn all their fuel, then they can't come back the way it is. But they had created two small rockets on the back of this airplane engines, which would not need the energy of an arc, but the energy of a cab. A cab meaning it don't. When God used a symbol in Revelation chapter 4 to identify this space shuttle, he used the word cab. So the cab letting you know it doesn't need as much. The space shuttle was up on the brink of the earth, and it didn't need the power to come back down. So these are secondary symbols. But the man, the lion, and the eagle part of this would be the primary symbols. But the ox is a secondary symbol. It would change from one to another. And the calf is a secondary symbol. But the man, the lion, and the eagle identify the space shuttle. Okay. Now, I have a symbol up there. Let me show you this thing here again. I'm going to take it back down and hoping that I can just do this without destroying anything here. Let me just change my little setting here. And hopefully I can do this. Now, verse 7, Ezekiel, I just want to just show you this part. And verse 7, Ezekiel 1:7, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of calf's foot. When you see a calf's foot, it is flat on the bottom. Right. it sets on stilts. A calf piece sets on stilts like that, and they fold under when they get ready to lay down. You see, they fold the front feet under. It's not back to him. Now, but it's flat like calf feet. That means this vehicle had a tremendous amount of weight sitting up on its feet. But when he said sparkle when it come down, if you notice a vehicle, when an airplane, commercial aircraft, when it's getting ready to land, by a tremendous weight, once it touched down and first hit the runway, you see smoke coming from it. So it's consistent with this here being a runway aircraft. When he said it was flat like the sole of a calf feet, we know when the space shell wheels is a two-stage wheel, a tire and a rim. The rim is always going to be flat. That's what he's letting you know. When it's set down, it's letting you know it had a tremendous amount of weight sitting on it. And it sparkled. That means when it touched down, it sparkled. Fire came from the wheel as it's getting ready to land, showing you that God saw this. Go to and it was like the color of burnished brass. That's still far. Now, Ezekiel 1 verse 8, and they had the hands of a man under their wings, and then you know, if the man was controlling the wings, then he was the navigator, he was the pilot. On their four sides, and they had the hands of a man under their wing, on their four sides, and they four had their faces and their wings. Number, he's talking about it's a total of 4 fleets. So verse number 9, their wings were joined one to another and turned not when they went. They went everyone straight out. It didn't matter what wings he was talking about. Even the 4 wings that he had, which was a solid fuel booster rocket, there, the external fuel tanks, and the right solid fuel booster rocket, and the jet engine of the aircraft itself, spacecraft itself. All of these was connected together. These was created one wing. It was joined together and let you know that there was no movement, but this was not a foul, because it tells you it came out of fire. So what this tells us, this vehicle, his wing, because it to divide gravitation when it leaves the earth, they was all joined together. And when he described the other part, it was all joined together. So we know this was not no foul. He gave us this symbol. As for the light, okay. Man, take this back down. Got that far. No, come on. I'm going to leave it at that for a minute. As for the likeness of their faces, they four had the face of a man, the face of a lamb on the right side, and they four had the face of an ox. On the left side, they four also had the face of an eagle. This is the stage letting us know this is a maiden flight, how this vehicle began its journey from out of this earth into the atmosphere, out in space. The maiden flight began with these 4 wings, and he told you how they come, how they would do this. Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upwards. 2 wings of every one was joined one to another, and 2 covered their butts. He's telling us about a second their wing. Let me get that and show that to you. Just have to do everything here to make sure that you'll see this. You can't beat this technology, I'll tell you this. He's talking about the secondary wing. These wings are joined together, forming a superstructure. 2 of the wings, this gives you a total of 6 wings. You see how they look. It's the bottom side of the vehicle.